Alrighty, we should be live. Hopefully all audio is good.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to tell us that it is or not, because I just don't want to deal with it.
Let me turn it on.
Okay. Nick's not with us tonight, so he's not gonna go through his introductory
I hear audio.
walk-in.
Okay,
Perfect.
good.
So I'm going to take up his duties and just do it with much less flair than Nick. This is the night we're playing our Dungeons Dragons Waterdeep and Beyond campaign. Over the last couple of weeks, you guys have found that your companion Droomstick came back from the afterlife with a mark of Asmodeus on his back, branded to his flesh. And I've decided that he is worth the effort to fix that.
I think so.
Yeah,
We don't need to talk about it in front of him like that.
No. That would give him an inflated ego.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna kind of let it go unsaid that Droomstick is worth having in the group.
We can only say those things when Nick isn't here. He wasn't here last time when I had to make my secret known. What's her face? What's his face? Wow, I totally forgot the dwarven god that Dumathoin. Yeah. So there we go.
So
Secret should not be spoken of.
in searching for a resolution to Nick's soul-binding predicament with Droomstick, you're looking for a way to get into Candle, a great repository of knowledge. And their entrance requirement is that you need to bring them a literary work that is not already in their collection. In searching for that, you found yourselves in the village of Longsaddle, just north of Waterdeep, home to predominantly the Harpell family of wizards. It seems like everybody in town Harpell of some variety. And when you arrived, the village of Longsaddle was floating a good 200 feet above the ground in a rather precarious, levitating stand. This didn't seem to bother the citizens of Longsaddle too much. They're used to this sort of thing, apparently. So they're taking this all in stride. And you met Herschel Harpell. And he kind of gave you the guided tour, and when he heard out your problems, he suggested that perhaps his great uncle's tower would be the place you can find just the thing you're looking for. His uncle was working on a work he had titled The Ecology of the Burbalang.
We can't bring one back as a pet before anyone else brings it up. Every monster you guys seem to run into, you want to bring back as a pet.
Why not?
I mean, I just want the cube. That's all I want.
I need protection from my stalker. Anything helps. Enough said.
I'm not ruling it out. Warren.
We'll see how powerful the DM is. I will stop this. I mean, no Burbalangs in this party. Whatever they are, we don't even know what they are.
I hope they're the flail snail.
They're probably awful.
They are, in fact, very awful.
I want a pet.
So Herschel decided, he told him that he needed to meet with the council and discuss to retrieve this literary. So you spend the morning here in the tavern that's serving a full wizard's breakfast, which basically means it's like a normal breakfast, but more things are floating.
Great. Just like the town. Have they fixed that, by the way?
What was that?
Have they fixed the town, by the way?
No,
or are we still...
no. Some birds are extremely confused by this, and they're not sure if this is, they're just like doing laps and staring. You're feeling very judged by pigeons and geese.
Great.
Good.
Good.
Um, how does breakfast work out in Long Saddle?
I'm probably going to be the first one up. I'm going to assume, just because I usually
Yeah.
am.
Can guarantee that one.
But I don't have to cook this time, so I'll just be waiting for the food patiently. It's not often that these days that someone gets to cook for Warren.
There's nothing
So
more patient than a customer who is waiting. By the time you arrive down in the common area where the breakfasts are served, they're in full swing. You're far from the only guests here. There's another 5 or 6 rooms worth of people in addition to each of you had your own single. So yeah, you get piles of meats and pastries and things that just look like they're extremely fattening and tasty, but you have no idea what they really are.
Hmm.
There's like the little pink blobby things that jiggle just a little bit too much when you touch them, but they also taste like sunshine.
Okay.
So who wakes up after that to follow Warren into this mess?
I guess I'll wake up next.
Okay.
I'm gonna wake Blaze up and drag her down.
Oh, that's rude. Blaze is extremely grumpy.
I know, because I know if I leave it to you, you're gonna be sleeping in there all day. So I'm
Yes.
dragging you down by the tail if I have to.
Okay, so Ophelia, you walk out of your room right as Warren is dragging Blaze past your.
Oh.
don't get any ideas.
I won't.
Breakfast is waiting. We gotta get a move on. Come on. Everyone's gotta eat before we go into the weird wizard's tower and probably never come back.
Fuck
I
Could be our last
off.
a
meal.
ruckus and kind of peek out.
Fuck off. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Ugh. These little jelly things aren't gonna eat themselves.
Oh.
Presumably. I guess you never know. But
Blaze, there are like 3 plates of bacon just orbiting your head right now.
Oh,
Laziest thing ever. Just like grab a fistful and just shove it in my face.
The remaining 2 plates just back away slowly
they're like, okay, she's been fed.
in the
That's
direction
it.
of a table.
I reluctantly follow.
'Cause, yeah, the bacon just stays just out of reach until the table.
I like slump down at the table, like sprawled up, just idly shoving bacon in my face.
you're welcome for the wake up call.
Fuck off.
Alright, next time the bacon's not gonna be available.
A wizard woman walks past, and at that last fuck you, just casts a gentle spell over your table, and coffee just coalesces out of the air. And then she moves on without another word.
Okay, this place is alright. Send him coffee. We're good.
Once you're all there at the table, Herschel's gonna come in looking for you. Spots you immediately and walks over. Is like, I have excellent news. They have approved your request to search for my uncle's lost work, and are all you need to do is fill out a couple of short forms. Mostly just, we call them, disclaimers. So, should anything befall you, up to and including disintegration, discorporation, planar shift, et cetera, et cetera. There's quite a lot of words involved with this, and I'm not even gonna attempt to say that I've read them all. And he puts up a pile of paper about 2 inches thick
Oh.
onto the table,
What are they expecting to
and the
happen
name
down
Warren
there
is
to us?
written on it.
Um,
It's all standard, I assure you.
Hmm.
Yeah, just
I-
like
I'm
Uncle
I'm
Phil.
I'm kind of looking at him. I'm like, you know, I think I am gonna start reading it, and I'll just sit there while I'm eating breakfast and just start reading through it,
Okay,
even the fine print.
sure. That 200-page stack of paper, by the way, is just your copy. He lays out additional ones for the rest of the party members. All equally thick, except Lestara's, which is about an extra inch thicker due to the unknown sorceress origin clause.
Oh, great. So, you think I'm gonna light shit up down there?
Actually,
Probably
they're
the
worried about
exact
the exact
opposite.
opposite.
Yeah.
That was set up too well not to
They're
take.
gonna attack me. Nice.
So yeah, Oliver, give me an investigation check.
All right. Let me get out the old dice. That's a dirty. No, it's not a dirty 20. It's a 21.
Okay. You've had probably done quite a bit of time looking through different laws and guild policies in a Waterdeep when you're dealing with the cafe. So some of this language actually does look very standard for contracts and etc.
Mhm.
What you're seeing there is they're really just saying that they're not held responsible for any way you may die, explode, or worse. And they're very specific on many or worse possibilities, which
Mhm.
leads you to believe these are things that have come up before within the borders of Long Saddle.
Okay. And is there anything in the contract about us actually getting a copy of this thing we're going to find?
There's like a top sheet which is labeled a agreement to salvage.
Okay. That's fine. Just not that I don't trust them, but you have to read the fine print because if you don't read it, eventually someone will take advantage of you. Once I'm satisfied, I'll sign it, hand it over.
The moment you sign it and close the cover on the folder it's contained in, it like folds in on itself several times and vanishes. Um,
If only all paperwork would do that.
we're working on it. It's honestly a problem of scalability,
Mhm.
but we're trying to put some infrastructure in place to roll this out Faerun wide in the spring, unless something goes wrong or there's some issue on the filing side, but I'm sure your paperwork will last.
Okay. Well, as soon as it's ready, our establishment is in Waterdeep. You can refer it first to Fruin's Brews and Brats, and then we will take it second after he's beta tested it. He'll do anything we say. You just tell him that we told him he needs to try this out.
It's not a good thing he'll do anything we say.
Now that it's happened, we might as well. They
Mhm.
need someone to test this out.
Okay. So paperwork to Faerun.
He's actually writing this down. This is gonna happen. We're gonna walk into that mess next time we're back in Waterdeep.
It'll work fine eventually, and then we'll be ready for it.
You've already pushed them directly into the protection racket known as the Zentarum.
That was not me at all. Not even a
Oh
little bit.
yeah. Yeah, no, we can
That
blame
one.
Droomstick for that one.
Yeah, that one wasn't me.
Oh, Droomstick and his mob ties. So yeah, whenever you're finished with breakfast, we can get this started.
I'm good.
Okay.
As soon as everyone else is done eating all the bacon.
Once I finished my coffee.
I need more juice.
The same wizard who walked past the first time stops, pulls out a wand, does a bit of flourishy bits in the air, and taps your mug of coffee and your glass of juice. It's like they'll refill for the rest of the day.
Shit,
Oh.
fuck.
I need to learn that spell.
You see me dumping like 6 teaspoons of sugar into it. 6 plus, like,
Just like an extra pocket full.
yeah.
You should take some sugar packets with you for the road too, then.
Take the entire bowl of sugar packets with me.
Yep. You probably would be dealing with actual sugar cubes here.
The entire thing of sugar cubes.
Yeah, because sugar cubes are functionally magical objects.
Just shove
We
them
can take-
all in the bag of holding.
We can
Entire
take that
bowl.
home instead of the gelatinous cube. That's fine with me.
No.
Yeah, what happens if you put a gelatinous cube in a bag of holding?
Oh.
Well, now we're gonna
It
have to find
absorbs
out.
It absorbs the dimensional pocket inside of the bag of holding. And you just open it and there's just nothing but gelatinous cube. An infinite gelatinous cube.
Or it starts coming up out of other people's bags.
That would be
Oh.
wonderful.
Wait, does everybody share one single bag of holding from their own bags? Is that how that works?
In the Hackmaster game system / cartoons, yes. Bag war was very real comic book run. But I don't expect to get into anything like that. No.
I hope not.
He takes you to a tower which is a bit more robust than the first one you had visited, which was basically an outhouse-sized cylinder with a door that opened into a extra space. This one looks like it was actually at one point in time at least sized properly to be a functional 2-story tower. And then there's a bit more of like a standard shaped house stretching off from one side, so it's a big wide house tower coming up out of the right side of it. The weeds outside are overgrown. You know, there's vines that are crawling up the entire height of the tower. And Herschel says, well, this is it. A couple of key warnings. If you summon anything into the tower, you are responsible for removing it from the tower.
Okay.
Should you all perish, we kindly ask that you keep your hauntings to the evening hours. It just makes traffic a lot easier. Some of our businesses rely on just ghost traffic.
Well, at least one of us, you won't have to worry about that because we know where he's going.
Oh, wow. Harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, while he's standing right there and he looks up at Droomstick.
We're here to fix it. I'm just saying.
That was a little brutal, man.
And Nick's not even here to defend himself.
So the door to this tower is a set of 4 gigantic circles. And they all have a series of glyphs and letters and numbers. You can tell the outside ring is the Elvish script. The next ring below that is the Dwarvish script. The 2 that go in deeper than that. Does anyone read Draconic?
No.
Not me.
No?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hold on.
So yeah,
I mean, I read the Dwarven, but that's it.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where you can recognize the difference between Chinese and Japanese if you know what to look for. That's Draconic, but you can't read it. And then the language beyond that, it looks more like a set of numbers. And Herschel starts spinning these big giant wheels around to line up something on them, like a giant combination lock. And there's a hiss of escaping air as this door slides open. And the smell that rolls out is like that old cardboard smell. That stuff that happens when that box just sits there for too long and it's there. I says, well, I'm gonna kind of have to close the door behind you because technically this is an unsafe space, and we can't have it open to the public. We have regulations to prevent a lot of different things that could go wrong if I don't close this door behind you.
Okay. Yep, that's no problem.
It was in the information packet. You signed the waiver on this, so.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure we'll be back by dinner, hopefully. Maybe even lunch. You never know.
I like your optimism. And he watches as the four of you stand there and finally walk in.
All right, let's get to it. A bunch of dusty bookshelves and some old laboratories. You know, we've been through all this.
Barely
How
an
bad?
instant after the last of you steps through the door, it's pushed closed, and you can hear like this zap of magical energy as it seals.
Oh. What have we gotten ourselves into?
Blaze, you can actually like see all of that happening in your aura sight as like slow motion, and it's like a hole just gets filled in with no trace of it ever having been there before.
We're gonna die.
The door is there. You can physically see the door, but the magical barrier ignores the fact that there's a door there completely.
Well.
Then as you look out into this area, like the area that you're standing in is very much like a coat room. There's a bunch of hooks along the wall, a long bench, place to stack up boots or riding equipment or rain gear or whatever it is. Everything here is, it looks like it's been laying there for a very long time. There's no real dust or cobwebs or anything like that, but it looks like it's just been sitting in a still environment for so long, it has compressed itself completely to the surface. When you look beyond that room and deeper in, that's where things get a little bit more, a little bit less normal. Because what you see is a giant wheel spinning that has rooms suspended on the outside of this wheel. And every moment, one of them will line up with the floor of the coat room. A few seconds will pass, it will slide away. Next one will slide in place. On the other side of this wheel, there is another wheel going the opposite direction. As you sit here and watch this for a little while, total of 12 rooms on the nearest wheel, and probably the same number on the other wheel. It's just a lot harder to count moving the other direction.
Jesus Christ.
I can't tell if that's space efficient or inefficient.
Now, outside of this wheel, all that you see is this purplish, misty material that just kind of floats out there. And you're not sure if it is a up or a down. You're not certain if those terms even apply out there in that gooey space.
Right. I'm going to stay away from the gooey space, and I will approach the wheels.
I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. The first room that slides into place after you mention that is a formal dining room. Large table, total of 20 chairs wrapping around it. All the furniture and equipment to serve a true feast for a large group of people.
So how quickly are these wheels moving again? Like, what's the window to get in and out of one?
It would be no more than 5 to 10 minutes for a room to make a full trip around.
Okay.
And if you time things right and are trying to get from one wheel to the other, it would be half that distance because the wheels are going opposite direction.
Right. I'm gonna turn back towards everyone else and say, um, we really don't want to get separated here,
Yeah, no,
so we
it's a
should
bad idea.
probably all jump in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to
The
signal them
dining
all
room
to
slides
jump
away.
in together. All right. Well, what's next?
The next one looks like a storage room. Just
Perfect place to begin a search.
All right.
okay.
Think we all book it in.
So you jump in, and the room is like a 50 by 50 square. So it's kind of a cavernous warehouse type area, a lot larger than the dining room that was there previously. Um, and there are cabinets, boxes, chests, crates stacked all the way through there. Like you can make you can find paths between this accumulated storage space to get from one side to the other, but never in a straight line for very long.
Um, maybe this isn't the best place to start the search. We're gonna be here for a long time. Uh, hmm.
I feel like we'll
Looking,
be down here for a long time anyway.
well, I don't know, maybe. Looking through everything, what does it look like these storage things contain? If I can get a sense for anything that they might have in.
Um, what type of furniture piece are you looking for first?
Um, I mean, I guess I'm looking for anything that might be storing paperwork specifically. I don't know.
Okay, so if you saw a desk, that would be
Desk is
like
probably
a
a good
file
place to
cabinet,
start. Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Okay. Um, you find a map rack. It's kind of look like a large wine rack, but instead of the wine bottles, there are these map tubes that are in there, and there's a table nearby where you can spread one out large enough to see what they are. Um, and you pull one open, and the first one that you see is a map of the Sword Coast, but it looks distorted, as if some of the continents have shifted or pushed themselves together in a different configuration.
Hmm. Old is that?
Give me an investigation check or a history check.
My investigation is probably better, but um, yeah, my investigation is better, but I'm gonna get a history check because I feel
Okay.
like that's probably more apt. This. That's a 9.
Okay. Um, you're not sure why it's wrong. You're just very confident in your knowledge of geography and that this is not correct.
Right. Yeah, that can stay in here. We don't need to bring that out. We'll just get lost using that. No, I'm gonna continue to rifle through this. Look if there's anything that might be handwritten by this wizard.
Listara, there's something here that might be a little bit weird for your experience. The lighting here seems to come from all directions at once. So there are almost no shadows here at all.
Oh, I don't like that.
Now, it's not a truly bright light.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's not like blinding whiteness or anything like that. But there is
There's no like
some
point
light
source.
coming from every direction. Right.
Okay.
What are you gonna be? How are you reacting to that?
Be like, guys, I can't phase into the shadows here. I don't feel right.
Um,
I don't know what's going on. I can't pinpoint a source, a single source of light point that comes into these rooms.
Now, Warren, you're pinpointing something right now that you haven't been able to do in quite a long time. You can pinpoint Lestara's location right now. Like, normally, even when she's standing in the middle of the room, her form is a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
But you have full focus right now.
I'm gonna look around the room. Do I see any sort of linens or blankets or a tablecloth or anything?
You find an old rug.
An old
Take
rug.
it. Present it to Lestara. There you go. Portable shade.
Portable shade.
Just toss it right over yourself, and you'll be fine.
No.
I
You
mean,
gotta be
push
creative,
myself
okay?
Flip the rug up over your head. I am the knight.
he's not wrong.
I'm trying to find solutions here. You gotta work with me.
Not right, but
That's
not wrong.
Sure. Therefore, I'm just gonna shake it onto him and be like, "Fine."
Okay, hold
I've
on.
had worse.
Right
done to
there
me.
for a second.
I feel like something's gonna fall out of the rug. Oh, I don't like that laugh.
Walter, right as this rug is flying
Walter?
towards you. Wow, wrong character.
Walter?
Alright.
Who the fuck?
Just become an old man.
Walter is the wizard I play on Saturday nights.
Oh,
Warren and Walter would get along just fine.
I have a feeling they would.
Walter sees nothing but problems with everything around him.
Yeah. Smart person, I'm sure.
In any event, Warren, as that rug is flying towards you, you see it like unfold completely and like stretch. And as it's flying towards you, it just kind of wraps around. And
Lestara, this is not. I meant for it to go on you, not me. I'm fine in the light. I don't need the shade.
We're getting there.
Warren, what's your armor class?
15.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So the rug like pulls all the way around you, and just wraps you up in it, and then starts to squeeze. You are currently grappled. You are restrained and blinded, and suffocation is a possibility.
Oh no.
Look what you did!
I didn't mean to do that. How am I supposed to know that was supposed to happen?
I'm just gonna fall down. It's the only thing I can do at this point, I think.
You managed to stand up throughout the rug attack, and then just kind of with a shrug of your shoulders, no one can see, jump onto your side.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only action I can take right now.
Okay,
Like,
remember
no.
me.
Blunt force
I
damage
think
to
we-
the rug?
I think we should roll initiative here.
Oh, great. $18.
I'm at +3. I got a 21.
19.
One and rug. Okay. So Warren, in addition to jumping to the ground, you get your full act,
Okay.
and you go first.
Am I being squeezed too tightly to reach a weapon, a bladed weapon?
I believe that's what restrain. No. Grapple. Yeah, you can draw a weapon.
Then I'm going to go for the dagger and try to cut myself out.
Okay. You will have disadvantage on the attack because it's got you wrapped up.
Okay, that's fine. What am I with this?
Just do some circle attack.
Oh, that is unfortunate. What it actually is a 22, but the other die was a natural 20.
Ah,
That's a shame.
yeah. A 22 will absolutely hit.
Okay,
So you don't have to worry about that.
right. I guess it's just the dagger, and I don't think I'm going to get sneak attack under these conditions.
No,
So,
no, not in these conditions right now.
how does one sneak attack a rug, anyways? So that's 7 damage.
Okay.
Try to slash my way out.
All right. So, Blaze, you see a very familiar looking knife blade jab up out of this rug and slide like 6 inches. Warren's still in there, and there's no doubt he's still alive.
I'm
I
wiggling
would
a little
hope
bit.
so. It's been like 3 seconds. I'd really hope he's still alive. That would
Well,
be
at least
very
then he's still alive.
unfortunate.
I mean, there could be anything on the inside of the rug. It could have teeth.
Mm-hmm. It might actually still have teeth. We don't know.
Oh no.
um. Oh God. I guess I'm gonna go over to this rug and just like where Warren's blade ends. I'm gonna be very careful as I try and stick mine in and assist to not stab him. Hopefully,
Okay.
that is the goal: is to not stab him.
Then let's just go with that would be something to use claws for.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Probably,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, Kitty, tear up the rug.
Yes. Okay, I have the note here. 16 to hit.
Absolutely.
Where is one of my d4s? Right here.
Sorry, you're gonna be up next.
All right.
That is 6.
All right. The rug's been slashed in a couple of directions. It doesn't seem to have lost any structural integrity,
Oh,
nor has it loosened its grip at all. Lastara, before you see a Warren burrito,
no. Okay.
and Blaze
Warren
trying
burrito.
to help cut him out.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't throw any spells that would hit both of them.
I'm not saying you can't.
That's true. I mean, but
I
I've
vaguely
caused
thought
enough
about setting the
damage.
rug on fire, but I figured that'd be a really
No,
bad idea.
Yeah.
not only would that burn Warren, but you're gonna burn down everything else in the storage, including the book we came in here for.
If it's even located in this.
I just had this mental picture of Warren struggling and fighting for his life, and then just feeling the fire on his legs. Yeah, those are my friends helping me.
Mhm.
Hey, Droomstick would try and gore it. So
Absolutely.
Ugh.
All right, Lastara.
Hmm. Let me see. I mean, I can go in there with my dagger and try to cut it,
Mm-hmm.
but can I just use chill touch on the rug, or will that affect Warren as well?
Read the description of Tilta.
It says you create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature. With the chill of the grave. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 necro damage.
Okay. Are you happy with the image of a spectral claw?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just had a vision of like carnage venom blades. They're just like spikes of shadow just shooting out of you as like a physical object. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Alright. Crit 20.
That's where my crit went.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, the crit will hit.
Ooh. Okay, so it is 2d8 plus 6.
All right. So because that's a crit, that ends up being
Double.
46 plus 6. Welcome back.
Hi.
Oh, okay. All right. 4d. Oh my god. Jesus.
Now you need more dice.
I know, right? I can't. Just gonna open up my app and just do it.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind if you use a dice roller.
Oh, okay, so that is going to be 19 damage.
All right, 19 damage. Okay. So when you go tearing into this rug with those spectral claws, how you're going to be effective at this? That's a lot of damage you're dealing right here. But what's that look like?
Well, it's gonna be this giant claw that comes up just out of nowhere. Just Warren's not gonna be able to see it. It's gonna look pretty cool.
Okay.
And it's gonna go into like that hole that Warren's made, and then
So
Blaze also started.
Blaze, you're sitting there clawing away at this rug, and then a claw like 4 times the size of yours just comes down just beside your head and digs deep into this rug and then tears away in an instant, just inches from you.
Okay, man.
And then when you turn around, it's just Lestara.
Of course it is.
There's
See,
nothing else there, no Shadow Claw whatsoever.
God damn it.
I told you I'd fix it. Be fine.
This is
And
the last time I'm helping you.
with that, however, the rug then just falls to threads
Oh, good.
and is no longer animated. The longest lingering effect right here is that Warren is currently covered in a massive amount of yarn.
Well, you're gonna have to find your own shade. I did what I could.
I did what I could too.
I also did what I could.
Anyways, perhaps what everyone could do now is help me take a look around.
Fine.
Okay. Don't touch any more rugs.
Right. Yeah, we're not looking for rugs. We're looking for
No
notes
rugs,
or
no
some
curtains,
kind of
no nothing.
book, something. I don't know.
Is there a bookshelf somewhere?
There would have to be a bookshelf in this room of some type.
Okay.
Um, when you start looking down the titles on here, when you walk up to it, what do you expect to find?
Walk up to what? The bookshelf?
When you walk up to this bookshelf, and it's
Hang on 1
four
second.
4 shelves high, a good 4 feet wide, and there are books stacked up on end, filling each shelf. So there's probably in the neighborhood of 100 books on this shelf.
Mhm.
What do you think is going to be there?
I expect to see books in like different languages, probably that I don't know.
Okay, yeah. You haven't traveled much beyond Waterdeep, have you? You're from the
Just
general area outside.
yeah, just a general area outside.
Okay. So yeah, you see some of the books have varying scripts. There's quite a bit of Elvish. There's one with a really like you can read it as common, but like the characters are, but the script is just twisted around and flowing in a way that makes it hard to read. You think that might be something from a nation of the South, Kalimshan. The rest of the books on here seem to be like a series of adventure novels. And it looks like they're done in a really dramatic style where one book led into the next, and it's this ever expanding cast of characters. It gets more and more complex as each book gets on.
Okay. Can I tell the author of that book, or I can't read it?
The cover is worn, and the spine on this one is rough. So it's like you have to be a little bit gentle with it so it doesn't fall apart in your hands. And you can get a large R in the lower left corner of the book, and then the rest of the name is difficult to read.
Hmm. Hey, Warren, what do you think of this?
I think that looks much too old to be what we're looking for, and I'm not gonna touch it.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, I thought he'd fall for it again.
No.
Alright.
It looks like a kind of a mass-produced novel.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. Well, Lestar goes over that bookshelf. I'm actually gonna peer out again at the other wheel and look at some of the whatever rooms we're connecting to as it spins.
The room is sliding into place as you glance over. Looks like a billiard room. There's two tables with a green felt surface on the top of them in the center of the room, and various gaming supplies on shelves and racks along the walls.
That's probably not what we're looking for either.
One corner of the room is look like a bar area.
That's tempting, at least.
Now, Ophelia, you were while you were gone. What Ophelia was distracted and didn't see. We're gonna get back to what you were doing. Whatever you found that was distracting enough to not see the group. Lestara made a comment that you didn't hear, and then the next thing you didn't hear was Warren saying, "Here, try this," and then a rug gets thrown. Lestara catches the rug and says, "I don't want to try this," and throws it back at Warren, where it then animates and attacks Warren. A quick round of combat ensued.
Oh.
So, what had Ophelia's attention during that dramatic change of carpet?
Maybe she walked off into another room.
Okay.
Are there rooms close by that I could have stumbled into?
Yeah, like you probably found something. You picked it up and were looking at it, and as you were walking forward, you didn't realize you stepped across the divide into the next room. So Warren, as you look over and see that billiard room slide into place, the last thing you see is Ophelia looking up at you, sliding out of it.
Of course, we would get separated immediately. Of course.
Whoops.
Ophelia, when you realize what just happened, like you get that sense of movement for a moment there when your room slides away. What do you do right then and there?
Panic.
Does that include an audible scream?
Yes.
Okay. So Warren, when you hear that scream, it is abruptly cut off when the room slips out.
Okay, well, we got about 5 to 10 minutes until it comes back. Hopefully she's not dead. I'm just gonna wait right here with my arms crossed, tapping my foot.
My fucking god.
I'm gonna die. Help me.
If a second soul gets sold as a result of this, I'm only saving one of them. All right, we're not gonna be running around after everyone's soul. We're doing
Goodness.
one, and that's it. I'm just warning everyone right now.
Wait.
Okay, so the next one's yours.
If I
I'm
still
not gonna be
have that
selling
mug
that
of
stuff.
coffee, does it still refill itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
have the juice too.
While we're waiting, I'm just gonna like sit like vaguely behind Ward on the floor, just sipping the coffee, waiting.
What you need is the ever-filled bowl of popcorn.
Yes.
So yeah, Ophelia, you got some alone time. You knew how the two wheels were working. So eventually this one should come around to the other room. But you find yourself in that billiard room I just described a moment ago. Looks like an area that was used for gaming, entertaining groups.
Billiards.
Yeah. The tables look like they're well played, and were used often.
Are they dusty?
No. There hasn't been any dust. And this is not prime gelatinous cube habitat. So the normal reason for things to be dustless is probably not probably.
Probably what? You cut out.
I said probably. Just probably.
Oh.
Maybe the bottom of the wheel is like a giant gelatinous cube dunk tank where it just puts the entire room under.
That would
Is
be
that
terrible.
bad for humans in the room?
It would be if that were the case, yes.
So yeah, you find yourself alone. What are you doing?
Well, are there bookshelves in the room?
No, not here.
Hmm. I'm looking
Um,
around at all the different things on the tables and the
yeah,
decor.
both the billiards tables are set up for some type of game to begin right away. There are racks of long sticks along one wall. There's a chalkboard which seems to have like a running score scribbled onto it. The chalkboard itself seems to be dustless, which
Oh.
is weird and not in line with your experience with chalk.
I go over to
Um,
the chalkboard and I pick up a piece of chalk and I just scribble on the chalkboard to see what happens.
it leaves a clear white line.
What about the
Um,
dust coming off of the chalk at the
the dust falls from the chalk, and then within a few inches from there, just evaporates.
Weird.
Are you
Okay.
doing any further experimentation with the chalkboard?
No.
Okay.
Um,
The other area that you haven't really dug into was the bar area that was off to one side.
okay. I'm going over to the bar.
Um, it's fully stocked.
Ooh.
The bottles are labeled in a language you don't understand, possibly several languages you don't understand. Um, but no two bottles are shaped or colored the same way.
Hey Blaze, you're gonna like this room.
You can hear the absolute lack of an echo. It's a little weird when you're in a soundproof booth or recording booth where there's no echo going on and you're talking alone.
Can she
That's what
hear that though? Was she
you
able?
can, yes, you can hear your voice, but it's missing that natural echo and reverb you get in any kind of room.
Okay.
So down below, oh, did you have
Oh,
a
I was gonna experiment with the drinks, and I open one and I pour it out to see what happens. Like with the dust, I wanted to see if the self cleaning room would clean up the liquor.
um the liquid like stops just a a fraction of an inch above the carpeted floor and floats there.
Oh,
Oh.
And then this water just starts to slowly run downhill. It goes like it falls back against like the edge of the bar and runs down the edge of the bar and goes all the way over to the edge of the room, the backside of the wheel, and just falls off.
hmm.
And you can poke your head out just a little bit and you can see it trailing off into the distance. But it gets so small that you can't see it before you can see it hit anything.
Oh. Okay.
So as you stare off into that purple smokish abyss, we go back down to the storage room with Warren standing in judgment, Blaze sitting in amusement, and Lestara.
I'm cowering because I still can't find shade.
Okay, so you're just not having a good moment.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. When the billiard room cycles back around and you look across the room, you see Ophelia peering over the far side.
Ophelia,
Hi.
there's no railing there. You should just be careful.
I know.
Sam. Um, are we going to meet you or are you coming to meet us? We got like a minute to decide, so you better hurry.
Okay. I grab some of the liquor to bring back, and I come back to them.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at least you found something.
Did. There's a fully stocked bar up there.
nice.
Interesting.
Were there any shadows?
No.
No.
It's also a self-cleaning room. I tried dumping liquid out. I tried putting dust on the floor. It cleans itself.
I'm glad you found a way to use your time wisely. Um, in any case, I'm getting the sense that most of the stuff in this storage room is older stuff. If this wizard was working on this book when he died,
Hmm.
I'm gonna assume he didn't have it in storage like this. So I
Well,
think we need to look for a different room.
More
as
like
you,
a
as
study.
as you're watching for Ophelia and the room cycle around, everything on that second wheel appeared to be recreational space. Um, dining room was dining room was on the first wheel. It was a billiard room. It was a big like in-ground pool room. Uh, just a garden.
Well, if he was working on it up until his death, wouldn't it be in like a study room or a bedchamber or something like that?
We don't know that he was literally working on it while he died, but yeah, it would probably be some place that he went and did his work, and I'm going to assume that's not a storage room or a billiard room. If I didn't see anything that looked applicable on the second wheel, I suppose we need to get on the second wheel and check out the first wheel. Let's wait until the garden comes around. That one sounds nice and safe.
Tuh, There's a lot of things that could go wrong in a garden. But there
We're
might be
being
some shadows.
optimistic here.
Maybe I
You know,
can like
You've
find
looked
some.
it through the creature types on D&D Beyond. There's an entire type of creature called plant.
Well, Warren hasn't looked through that, so.
Fair. Uh, but now, so you step into this garden, and this place has an actual like a sunlight effect into it. So there is a strong single light source. There's not much to create a shadow. Everything's pretty low to the ground, bushes, shrubs. There's a pond with a couple of oversized orangish fish in there.
Lestara needs to bring a curtain next time and create their own shadow.
See, that is exactly what I was trying to get at. The rug.
With the rug.
I'm not the only one with good ideas, it turns out.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. uh, when you I'll look for that later. There's an area right inside where you step in where there's a big stone table with bench. uh, and as you look back out into the first wheel, the first room that you see slide past looks like a museum type room where there's things on display. Um, kind of put in they're displayed in a way that intends to impress. It's like there's a case of pinned butterflies, or something vaguely butterfly shaped. Trophies on the walls.
It's not gonna be in there.
I wonder, is there anything that looks especially, I guess, weird that's on display?
Well, some of the heads on the walls are definitely things you haven't seen before. The one that looks like the head of a steel bull. There's another one which has this big. It looks like a warthog type head, but it's on a giraffe kind of neck, and there's like 6 feet of the neck mounted with this big warthog head on the top of it.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, I was wondering if maybe one of these creatures he was writing about was in there, but I guess if it's some sort of astral creature, maybe it's not something you would mount on your wall. Warren has no idea what that really means. I'm just going to
Right.
assume that it's not something you mount on the wall.
your understanding of the astral plane is about 36 hours old.
Yeah.
I love these scenes where Warren's out of his depth because his depth usually covers him through quite a lot.
Yeah. I am a little bit curious about that one, but let's let it go by for now, I think.
Okay. The next room that slides into place is a large open area. And this one has like a stone barrier over most of the open area here. So there's like something that resembles kind of a doorway. It's a big, wide arch, so it's not really restricting anything, but it's a little bit unique that it's there in the first place. This open room has a large circle inscribed in the center of it. Inside this circle are all number of arcane scripts and symbols.
Okay. I don't know much about magic, but this is some kind of summoning room, isn't it?
That is one conclusion you could easily jump to with no reason to disprove it immediately.
This is nothing but trouble. We should probably check this one out.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's check it out.
I could find
Okay.
another rug in there to throw at you.
This room is rugless.
Oh.
Good.
It is nothing but this stone tile floor. Blaze, when you look out with your aura sight over this one, that circle is glowing with clean abjuration magic.
Oh, interesting.
And as you look at that further, it's got like a barrier quality to it where certain types of creatures may not be able to cross in or out of that circle.
Hmm. Hmm. Can I get closer and check it out some more?
You can get as close as you want. Now, the point where that becomes a question is, would you like to touch
Not right away. I want to look at it some more first.
it?
I don't want to die.
What type of role would you like to use to discover more?
Oh God, I don't even know. I guess
You've
an
got
Arcana check.
Arcana check would be one way to go.
That seems like the best. I got an 8. I'm dumb.
Like,
It's a circle.
you know that thing that sometimes happens in a scene where a car breaks down alongside of a road, and there's someone looking at it, and they're like, "Yep, that's a car engine." Like you're all up in there under the hood, and you have no idea what you're
Yeah.
looking at.
Okay. Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure.
Okay.
As she's doing her Arcana check, I'd just slowly reaching towards it to touch it. Just
I got slightly
slowly.
better. 11.
Okay. You can tell just by how the symbols are put together that it's an abjuration protection circle. And you're familiar with those. You know, if you were ever going to summon a spirit from Kelmvor's realm to speak with, you would put it in a circle very much like this. You know how to make one that is. You actually have access to a spell very similar to this one, I think. But you know how to put up a barrier so that a spirit can't cross it. This looks like it's that same
Hold on a
construction
second.
technique. Okay.
Well, while that's happening, I'm stepping up behind Blaze, and I'm like, Blaze, what's this thing? Is this for demons,
Sorry,
or
my dad
what's
came in.
going on?
So good.
It's a circle.
Now, Warren, as you walk over to Blaze, like her fingertip is just like you're not sure exactly where the barrier's at because you can't see it, but you know that her finger's getting close to it.
Is it gonna do anything if you touch it?
I don't know. The only way to find out, I guess, is to touch it.
Why don't you touch it, Warren?
You can feel like, have you ever stood next to a stack of plastic
Yes.
totes all palleted up, ready to go, and you get that electrical field
Yes.
like 6 inches away? Yeah, your hand's deep in that right.
Alright, I'm just gonna touch it. I'm just gonna
Okay.
touch it.
Roll me a
Not
D20.
even full finger, claw tip touch it.
Okay. Roll me a D20.
Oh, okay. 14.
14. Okay. Blaze blinks out of existence. Just gone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bye.
All right.
You had to
Like
tell her to touch it.
there was no sound involved. There was no animation sequence. She was in one frame and not in the net.
Okay.
Now listen, this is not the first time she's done this. And last time it did ruin everything, but she survived.
Oh.
So
Wait, what
Yeah,
time was that?
it was back in the blue alley.
Oh my god.
So, Blaze,
Hi.
you find yourself in a gray space.
Oh, nice.
There is literally nothing in any direction. You are not standing on it. You are not falling. You are not moving. There is no sound.
This is fucking awkward.
You're slowly going mental.
Okay, man. So there's just nothing.
Well, that's what you get with your normal sight.
Okay.
Your aura sight just seems to be just coming back online. Maybe it's recalibrating for a planar shift. And you can still see that circle there. It's kind of hard to judge its size because there's nothing else around to compare it to. So you're not sure how far away from it you are. But it's there.
I'm gonna go to it.
How?
What do you mean, how?
You can't move.
You're not standing on anything. You're not moving.
Even if I try to move, I can't move? That's awkward.
Well, how do you try to move?
Just try and walk.
Okay, so you try to walk, and you get that on a treadmill effect.
Oh my god, why?
You try to swim, and you just start rotating head over heels, just slowly. Like not enough to be like give you motion sensitivity or anything like that, but you're just the axes of the universe are just rotating a little bit. What's going through Blaze's head in that moment?
Sheer confusion. Just what the fuck is going on? Slash, oh, this floating thing is no. Too close to flying.
This is but very different than flying. With flying, you could feel air. You knew you had an orientation. You knew there was an
Yeah,
up
I
and a
don't like
down.
this. This is worse.
Right now, your only point of reference in the entire expanse of existence going on beyond you in every direction is that circle.
You know, can I use Dimension Door to try and get back to where the fuck I was before I touched it?
Yes, you can absolutely try that.
I'm gonna make an attempt.
Okay, so with Dimension Door, you need to picture a location in your mind that you want to go to.
I'm gonna picture the original room with the circle where everybody currently is.
Okay. As you go and reach to pull the energies for that spell, like you know how that there's usually like a charge up period where you feel the power growing before it pops and you appear somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
As that power is growing, before the spell takes effect, you see the circle getting closer.
Okay.
Give me an insight or an arcana check.
Which am I better at? I'm better at Arcana.
It's not a good sign.
Clearly.
I got a 21 that time, a 19 plus 2. I'm suddenly extremely
Okay.
smart.
Well, no, it just becomes extremely obvious to you that
Oh, it
the
really
moment-
is a car engine.
the moment the moment you Yep, everything. This is exactly what I expect the car engine to look like. No surprises here whatsoever. The moment you start to think about the circle and going to it, you start to move closer to it.
Oh.
And it's slow at first, but that second you realize that it's your thought making you move, your speed like triples.
Oh no.
And now you're moving at it, and it looks like it's coming at you at a full run.
Okay. I'm just gonna accept my fate here. Just gonna accept it's gonna happen.
Okay.
You're gonna
You're
die.
you're on board with rushing at this.
Yup.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
17.
Okay. You fight off the urge to flinch right as you're gonna impact with this circle. And the moment you do it, there's a pop in your ears and a rush of wind, and you feel yourself falling for just like a brief second, and then you realize you're not falling; you were going up, and you have that moment of like zero gravity where you're no longer going up, and you know down is going to happen. And give me a reflex save with advantage because to back.
What would that Dex?
Dex saving throw. Damn you, 4th edition.
Hey, I kind of knew what you meant anyways. Dex made the most sense.
No one talks about 4th edition.
It's true. Have you got those Rick and Morty comics?
Not yet.
Oh, that was a
I've
line in the Rick and Morty versus D&D comic. Nobody talks about 4th edition.
Oh. No, I was actually literally saying nobody talks about 4th edition.
It's true.
18.
Okay, so you land on your feet.
Thank God.
You're inside the circle.
Oh.
And when you like toss a cartoon cat into the air, and they land and they freeze, and it's just like everything was just wrong, and now it's less wrong,
But still
but
wrong.
you're still living in the moment where things were wrong.
Yeah.
That cat freeze right there. That's what Blaze is doing inside the circle in front of all of you. Now, for those of you who are outside the circle, all of that happened in maybe 3 seconds.
Oh, she's back.
I told you she would live.
Don't touch the circle.
Yeah, we weren't going to, but thanks.
You're the only one who had that idea.
I'm going to attempt to leave the circle because for some reason I have this fear I'm not actually going to be able to leave the circle if I try and leave the circle.
Wait, if you touch the circle, were there shadows where
No.
you went? Oh,
No.
okay.
You go to put your hand through it from this side, and it is cold glass wall.
Yeah, I fucking knew that was going to
You're
happen.
trapped. Well, look what you've done.
When I see that she can't push her way out, I'm gonna stand exactly on the opposite side of where she's trying to push out from, and I'm just gonna that same judging. Like, now, Blaze, the first time you touched something and just got whisked away, that was fine. Now you've done it again.
Yeah,
Are you gonna learn? Is it gonna happen a third time?
fight me.
Possibly.
Can I reach through?
I'm
the
right
air?
here. Come get it.
Ophelia, when you reach through the circle, you are reaching through the circle, correct?
I'm not touching the circle.
you're not
I'm
touching-
touching the air above the circle. I assume the circle's on the ground, right?
Yes, the circle is clearly inscribed on the ground.
Okay. I'm reaching through to
And you know
Blaze.
that if this is a protection type circle, it is one line of a sphere that goes above and below ground.
Oh, how above is above?
Sphere. So if you know exactly how wide it is, you know exactly how tall it is.
Oh, okay. How long and
We're gonna say this
diameter?
one's about 30 feet wide. It's a large circle.
Oh, so I'm not
Right,
reaching
so
my
the
hand.
top of the circle, the top of the dome would be about 15 feet above the ground.
Yeah, I can't reach that.
But as your hand gets closer and closer to it, you feel nothing but dry, not cold, not warm air.
Is that different than the air closer to me?
No, it's the entire room feels that.
Oh, okay.
So you're getting no tingle or buzz or sensation
Right.
from it whatsoever.
I'm gonna try to reach out to Blaze, push through.
Give me
See
my
what happens.
coffee cup.
Does it stop me from pushing my hand in all the way?
Hang on, we need to go backwards just a little bit.
Okay.
As you flew up into the air, you saw the coffee just go up out of your cup. And you were kind of just spinning just a little bit. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Is there 0G in this dome?
No, just a moment that you go from accelerating upwards to accelerating downwards.
You said with
Okay.
advantage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because it's a nat 20.
Okay.
I rolled a 16 and then a nat 20.
So when you land, your cup is right there in front of you, solid in your grasp. It is slowly refilling with coffee.
Yes!
Wait, where's the original coffee?
Splattered on the ground.
Oh, okay.
This room
Okay,
does
I'm
not
far
appear
more
to have the
content
liquid.
now.
Well, this room does not appear to have the liquid protection spell that the
The
the other
billiards
room did. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just stone tile.
Okay, I'm actually gonna
So
try
yeah,
and.
your hand slides right through.
Oh,
No dimensional hopping whatsoever.
look! I can reach in.
Pull her out.
Take my hand.
I just have a feeling I'm gonna get smashed against a glass wall.
Be gentle. Be
I'll
gentle.
be gentle.
Oh, yeah, fucking right.
Just a giant tug.
when you'd go to like, pull her hand through that barrier, it doesn't. It's like you're pulling against a rock wall.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
Okay. I mean, this isn't going to be the first circle that we've ruined.
What if we pass her a hammer?
I think we need to do something a little bit less mundane. One of you, how do we ruin the thing? How do we break this?
What about?
One of you's got to know.
Hold on a second.
That would be an Arcana check from anybody.
I'm checking to see if I have Dispel Magic in my spell list. I do!
Got a 19 that time for an
Okay.
Arcana check.
On a 19 for the Arcana check, you know that if you physically destroy a circle of this level, while it's active, while it's containing something, the physical form of that circle doesn't matter. It's just in the moment the circle is created that circle is important. For this type of circle spell,
Wait, so if we
would this be
destroy it, it wouldn't hurt me?
it wouldn't hurt the circle.
Oh.
That arcane barrier, the abjuration magic,
Oh, okay, yeah.
is not dependent on the physical form of the circle.
Okay.
If this were a circle made of salt or something less stable, yes, you could do. Ophelia, you were about to ask a question a moment ago.
Yeah, would I be able to use Dispel Magic on it?
Okay. Using that as a level 3 spell slot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the default.
Okay.
That'll automatically dispel anything level 3 or lower.
Okay.
If it's a spell of level 4 or higher, a dice roll is involved.
Okay.
So you could cast it as a level 4 or a 5 spell, and that'll wipe those out too. Only when it's dealing with something higher than what you cast it as will it function automatically.
Okay, I'll cast it as a level 4 spell.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check. Sorry, intelligence check.
Okay. 21.
21. Okay. You tear down that magical barrier. It just when you go to dispel that, what process do you go through to do it?
I put my hands out and I just concentrate and focus, and then I tear it apart.
Okay. So you're going Arcane Hulk on this.
Yes.
and it's like brute forcing it apart. And it shatters and wraps and blaze. On the inside of it, you get a sense where like the air pressure equalizes. But it's not air pressure, it's arcane energy.
I'm just gonna sip my coffee.
We freed the cat from the kennel.
The runes that are inscribed in the circle right now are smoking and smoldering.
Uh-oh.
Whatever metal material they were etched in with melted.
Well, I'm sure nobody will miss it.
Probably not.
I hope
Oh.
not.
So now that that's dealt with, is there anything else in this room at all, or was this just the circle?
The circle is what grabbed your immediate attention and definitely got Blaze to walk right up to it.
Curiosity killed the cat, they say.
Mm-hmm. About 50 feet away from the circle, there are a desk area.
That's more Warren's speed. I'm gonna go over to that.
Okay. When you sit down here, this looks like the type of desk materials you'd have for someplace where you're recording data entry. So it's not like I was gonna say it's not like an accountant's desk, but it's exactly like an accountant's desk. If you were like kind of extrapolating this out to a classroom scenario, this would be like the stenographers, or a courtroom scenario. This would be where a stenographer's set up.
Okay.
So they record. Give me an insight check.
do that. Let's see. That's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of get the idea that this is where someone would be if they were observing the events that were going on in the circle area and making recordings and notes. There are some inkwells and things like that for some heavier duty writing instruments. You've seen some of the gear that wizards use when they're writing a spell book, and this looks like it's that type of office supply.
Hmm. Are there any papers or anything here right now, or is it just the supplies to write?
There is a pad of papers in a leather portfolio type case.
I'm gonna rifle through them.
Okay, pages are blank.
Oh. Invisible
From
ink,
what we
maybe?
see. Yeah.
Maybe, but if so, I don't know how to make a wizard's invisible ink appear. That's not something I can do. Blaze, take a look. What does it look like?
I don't fucking know. What does it look like?
The book's carrying no enchantment whatsoever.
Looks like paper.
A
It-
wizard's spell book would carry at least a minor aura.
It's a piece of fucking paper, Warren.
Just checking. All right. I'm sorry that you got trapped in your little glass bowl. It's not my fault. We got you out. Ophelia got you out.
Could have gotten myself out.
We could put you back if you want.
No, we're not putting her back.
No, you can't. That circle is broken right now.
Yeah, it's broken.
We'll put it back together with some glue.
Lestara,
right.
Push you into it.
you've faded to the background inadvertently here.
Mm-hmm.
What
I
are
was
you
trying
doing
to look
while
for
all
shadows.
this? Okay, so you're still searching for shadows.
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
15.
Okay. While Blaze was interacting with the other place,
Mm-hmm.
the instant that she passed through and the instant that she passed back, you felt a pull on your connection to the plane of shadow. Not so much a pull, but more like an actual push. During the dragon incident, where I believe you were AFK that week,
Yep.
I mentioned that you felt a pull, that your powers were growing as the portal to the plane of shadow opened up.
Yeah. I remember that.
While this planar connection was active, you felt your shadow power diminish. Now, it was only for the fraction of an instant when Blaze was appearing and disappearing. But that's something that relates to that gating effect you had experienced before.
Okay, so it was like a different plane that she entered.
That is a conclusion you can make.
Don't go through that again.
Do you have the Arcana skill?
Yeah.
Give it a roll.
I think I'm plus 3, yeah. 11.
Okay. Blaze didn't describe anything that just happened.
Nope.
So you don't have any of that information to use. But you know there's more than one plane of existence. And with the assumption that your powers are tied to the plane of shadow, it's kind of occurring to you that there might be different pulls and pushes for other planes depending on how close they are in relation to the shadow plane.
Okay.
And as you're trying to like conceptualize all of this, you're realizing that like visual objects and physical spaces don't mean very. Each of the planes is infinite. So can an infinite be next to another infinite?
wisdom
know,
save.
is there something large enough to contain 2 infants? And if
Oh.
so, what is that space like?
A bag of holding.
Very close. So that's I don't know if you want to like if that's a revelation or something of that magnitude, but that's what you just experienced over the course of
Okay. Over the course of her just disappearing then
right,
reappearing.
which was just a few short seconds
Okay.
before Ophelia tore everything apart and prevented you from learning more.
Oh, sorry. It's all
There
my
is no,
fault.
there is no sorry. There is only story.
Alright, I'm happy I have pie now.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have
Share.
recovered from your harrowing experience on another plane with pie.
hmm Well, in actuality, with copious amounts of coffee.
Yes.
I've started
Pie
drinking it
and
like twice as fast now.
so yeah, you got a lot to process tonight. Including why Ophelia's hand could come out of the circle and yours couldn't.
Oh shit.
Existential dread.
There's a moment there where the coffee cup just stops and your mind goes in a completely different direction, and it takes a while for the caffeine to catch up to your mind and start assisting on this new thought path.
I mean, in theory, then, wouldn't it be that the protection. Siri, I didn't say you. My iPad just. Okay.
Siri, what is the astral plane?
So, like,
Apparently her.
wouldn't that mean that that circle was to keep things contained? So things can go inside the circle but not come out?
So it's to protect the room.
Is this what they meant by summoning stuff? In that giant packet? Can I not leave now?
We must take care of you.
No. We're gonna get her out somehow. We'll force her out. We have to.
Yeah, like now
I'll
that
Hulk rip the entire place.
now that the circle is broken, you can move freely.
Oh yeah.
So Warren, I think I cut you off as you were starting to lecture, and I apologize for this.
No. The lectures can wait. We have plenty of time for those. But I'm not really satisfied with just these blank papers. There's got to be something. I'm gonna go over this desk looking for any sort of hidden compartments or any, like any drawers that can be pulled out. Anything.
Well, I mean, invisible ink doesn't necessarily have to be enchanted, right?
Just put some heat on it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you guys a blank paper. You figure out the invisible ink while I check out the desk.
Okay.
Who's got a heat spell?
So you hand the paper off to the 3 of them, and the last thing you hear as the papers pass from your hand is, who has a heat spell?
Yeah.
I've got Sacred Flame. Does that cause heat?
That seems like a poor life choice.
Well, I'm not gonna set it on fire.
Warren, you pull
Yes,
open
you
a
are.
drawer, and inside this drawer there is a single pencil.
That's suspicious.
It is like this writing
Oh.
desk was made to annoy me.
This is definitely not a writing desk.
I've got an idea.
What's up?
Because
Go
if
ahead
we're
with your
gonna heat
idea.
up the paper, I can use prestidigitation to make like a small flame. To
Sure.
heat it up.
You can get a candle. Yeah, you can get like a candle heat.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking to do, man.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Now you have warm paper.
Are you all happy?
No.
Well, now I'm just gonna set the paper on fire.
Well, can it set fire now?
And no, but it takes a little while. So you're moving that candle around underneath the paper, and all 3 of you are watching it closely, waiting for a thing to happen. Warren's just over here over your shoulder, like glancing over at you guys, like, yep, that's exactly what they're doing. Fucking pencil.
Does the pencil
will-
right? Is
I
anything-
will pick up the pencil and I will inspect it closer.
Try to write with it.
Give me an investigation check.
You know, I would love to try and write with it, but someone just burned all the paper.
No, I've
only
like
burned one
only lit like the bottom corner
The
of it
paper
right
is
now.
Not on fire. There's been no burning of paper that I'm aware of.
No, I'm like slowly starting to burn the corner.
Oh, okay.
I got a 17.
This is like the common stock pencil type.
Is it a number
Two.
2
Like
pencil?
if you were going to magically conjure a pencil out of thin air, this is exactly what you would conjure thinking of a pencil. It is unique only in the fact that it is the 100% pure conceptualized
Son
version
of
of a
a
pencil.
fuck!
Are
Probably
you
yes.
okay?
I just
Problems.
dropped my pie.
Oh no!
Oh
The piece of it I had on my spoon.
You just gave the internet a set.
Please.
5-second rule. Quick, quick, quick.
Where did it go?
Uh,
I made a break for it.
That's bad.
it grew legs.
No, like I'm
Um,
actually legitimately confused. I have Cool Whip on my leg.
Oh, okay.
Is it behind you?
Why would it come behind me?
Roll?
Why would it roll?
Is it a ball?
I'm gonna
Are
go
you
under my
sitting-
desk. I'm still gonna be listening, but now I'm concerned.
I'm gonna
Oh,
take
uh-huh.
back that paper, blow out the little flame that's on the bottom, and I'm going to set the paper on the desk, and I will write with the number 2 pencil.
What would you like to write?
Please, gods, someone tell us where to find this book.
Prayer.
Dumathoin, there is a secret here that we need to uncover.
Jesus
Please
Christ.
put me out of my misery and help me find this book.
Oh, I found
Or
it. Wait, what
someone
the fuck?
else.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I have to get a picture of this, because where the fuck this thing went is actually insane.
I'm
There's
concerned.
more pies than I dropped. What happened?
It multiplied.
I don't know. Did it like break?
Hold on. So I have like my
Edible.
speakers have like a subwoofer, like a
Is
nice.
it inside the
No!
subwoofer opening?
So like, my desk is an L, and the subwoofer is like all the way in the back corner, and it landed on top
Oh,
instead of just on the
Oh.
floor right underneath me.
well, now you can eat it.
Now, does the inside of your L deck, does it have a 90-degree angle or a curve?
It's a 90-degree angle, so it was all the way in the back corner. Because where I'm
Okay,
looking
so
right now
there's-
is like,
there's waste space because you can't occupy that corner as well as you could occur. I'm sorry, I'm very critical on desk.
well, it's literally a Staples desk.
I know. I can almost picture which one.
Yeah.
You gotta guess.
I think it was called the Hartford Collection.
No,
No.
In any event.
I bought the same desk.
Oh, okay.
And like, I have a lot of shit under my desk. You can
Yeah,
smell.
you do.
You need to clean your desk.
Mine's
Well, at
no
least
better.
your pie is safe.
I didn't actually grab it either, which is the sad part.
Are you?
Oh my
Well-
Just
god.
distracted.
Now, all that happened while Warren was fervently praying to Dumathor for perhaps deliverance from his companion. Have you actually studied Dumathoin beyond the artwork you've run across? Have you taken the time? Go ahead.
Probably not extremely heavily. I mean, I as a player have. I don't know how much Warren did look into
Okay.
it though, considering everything that's been going on.
So you most certainly haven't visited a temple or shrine beyond what you ran across under the city.
Probably not.
Okay. Give me a religion check with disadvantage.
Okay. You know what? I've got inspiration. I'm gonna use it to
Okay.
turn that into regular. Because I gotta use it sometime.
That's a good time to use it too. Divine inspiration is always a time to use inspiration.
And I think it paid off because that's a 21.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's see what it would have been with the disadvantage. Okay, never mind. That's a natural 20. It's fine.
All right. So you're sitting there in quiet thought, just pushing out everything that's going on around you away, and just concentrating on just you and the pencil and doom.
That is.
And the pencil that you've put on the page moves and shifts into a dwarven script. Do you read dwarven?
I do.
Okay. It says your methods are sound. Continue as you are.
Fair enough. Thank you, Doomatoin. I'll
Doing what we're doing.
yeah, I'll uncover those secrets for you. Okay.
Give me another religion check just to
Great.
He's
Can
gonna-
I use that 20 I rolled?
now.
Okay, 19. I'm on a rolling streak here.
Doomathoin is the keeper of secrets, not the giver of secrets.
You know, I'm not. I'm. Okay, I was gonna give him the Candlekeep. That's fair. You know what? It's
No.
fine.
Well, nah, we'll get into that later. What does Doomathoin think of Candlekeep? They do keep their secrets. They make you earn your way in. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think that one over. But I think looking at the clock, we're at a great place to stop right here.
Okay.
I do want to see Drumstick experience some of Wacky Wizard World before we're done here. I was happy that Blaze got her first taste of the astral plane.
Yes. I don't want to go back.
Don't you like it?
I don't like
Blaze,
floating. It's not my thing. Feet.
But you weren't floating. Floating
doing
implies you're in something.
No,
You very clearly were not in anything.
nothing.
You were existing.
I don't want to
Fully.
exist.
That's fair.
I'm gonna just say this right now. I think that was my best interpretation of the astral plane. So next weekend, me, Nick, and Lauren from some other games are going to be at PAX Unplugged
All
in
right.
Philly. If we'll be able to track down there. Until then, Evil Sales Ass on Twitter is the best place to get a hold of me. And I'm going to pass things off to Jess before my throat explodes.
Oh, geez. Normally you have Nick as a buffer, and my brain was like, no, you're not going to be next. No, I'm next. You can find me at Sweet Ninetales on Twitter and Instagram and maybe Twitch one day. You know, you can find me here occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aggressively working the next couple weeks. Because we have a fuck ton of
Christmas.
hours. Extra
Christmas.
hours. So I'm going to get some
Merry
extra
Tis the
hours.
season.
Yeah, because they're going to go down after the first of the year.
Yep.
So might as well
Merry
get as much as
Chrysler.
I can.
Payroll plummets February 1st when the new fiscal year begins.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Every year without error.
That's why I can get time off in February, no problem.
It is absolutely our first vacation window of the year.
Yeah. Unless you're like me, this past year, and you're just recovering from surgery anyway, so you don't gotta fucking work, but you're getting paid. Yeah, I don't got jack shit
So
else
from
to.
there,
What?
who's next?
Oh yeah, we'll go to Jen.
Oh fuck. I was not prepared for this.
Odds were 50-50. How could you not be
No,
prepared?
they weren't.
Warren always, Oliver's
33%.
always last.
There was a 33%. Oh, yeah.
Oliver's
that's
always
right.
last.
No, you can find me on Twitter at SummonerXI, as well as my Instagram and Twitch channels, I guess, when they're not being vacant. I'm not doing anything in particular.
Kevin coughs.
What?
Kevin coughed.
Oh,
I thought I muted.
You did.
You did.
Oh, wonderful.
Just wanted to draw attention to it anyways.
Mm.
I've
the
got nothing
yeah, for
special
the
going
podcast.
on, so I'm just gonna pass it off to Sky.
Woo! You guys can find me on Twitter at Fizzle. Not doing anything. Love my new job. Don't have to go in when it snows.
Same.
It's great.
What snow? It's literally raining here.
It was a sheet of ice when I woke up this morning. I got to stay home.
We got snow here in Connecticut, like hot.
Well, it's warm here to get snow. I don't even know what it's.
Did you get any?
We got a little bit, and then it rained, and most of the snow was gone.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it turned to freezing rain later, and then made everything a sheet of ice. So.
It's 36 right now. It ain't gonna snow.
These are all problems Oliver has a hard time relating.
Yeah.
No, they had rain.
We get to that when it's my turn.
Alright.
It's your turn.
Pass it off to Oliver.
Okay, now it's my turn. Yeah, those are problems I'm not really familiar with. We had some rain. We go to work when it's raining. There's no snow. There's no snow days here. That said, there is snow up in the mountains right now. It might still be there in a week or two if I go up. I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, I personally don't have anything else going on. I don't have any sort of social media. I can't be found anywhere except our Discord server thing, where all of us can be found, in fact, not just me.
We occasionally have conversations there in the public channels, and sometimes we can even have them without Nick embarrassing us.
Sometimes.
I
Can we
haven't
really?
seen that happen yet.
We should
personally.
rename the Discord server to Oliver's Cave. Because that's where he can be found.
Let's not make it weird.
It's pretty weird.
If you want to go there and see how weird it is, it's down there somewhere. I don't know. The link's down there.
Click on the thing.
Yeah.
So, let's cut us off before we embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's,
We're gonna. Good night, everybody.
all right. See everybody later.
Goodbye.
Good night.